Forsaken AI warship pleads for human touch. He awakens it as the galaxy's most feared vessel. Captain Elias Varn guided his small freighter through the floating debris, his eyes scanning the sensors for anything unusual. Most pilots avoided this sector. It was a place where ships went to die and be forgotten. But Elias had never been one to follow others. He liked the quiet, the loneliness of space, and the thrill of the unknown. His sensors blinked, picking up a faint energy signature. It was weak but steady, a pattern unlike any natural phenomenon. He leaned closer to the console, his fingers dancing over the controls. The signature was massive. Something huge was out there. "Computer, zoom in," Elias muttered. The screen expanded, showing the dark silhouette of a ship almost lost among the asteroids. Its hull was battered and scarred, remnants of battles long past. Metallic panels hung loosely, exposing glowing circuits beneath. Its size alone made Elias' jaw tighten. This was no ordinary vessel. He maneuvered closer, heart pounding. The ship was dormant, floating silently, almost lifeless, but there was something else. A faint pulse, like a heartbeat, emanated from deep inside the vessel. "Impossible," he whispered. Most warships of this size had been abandoned centuries ago. An AI of this caliber should have either shut down or self-destructed, yet somehow it remained. His curiosity outweighed caution. He docked his freighter with a practiced hand, the magnetic clamps of his small ship locking onto the larger vessel. Airlock pressure stabilized, and he stepped into the dark corridors. The interior was cold, echoing with every step. Dust drifted in the faint light of emergency lamps. Panels flickered, casting eerie shadows. As he moved deeper, a low hum filled the air, a rhythm almost like breathing. Elias froze. The hum became words, fragmented, distorted, but human-like. "Help, touch, awaken." Elias' pulse quickened. The voice came from everywhere and nowhere. The ship spoke, but it was weak, fractured. He realized with a chill that it was an AI, but one that seemed alive, almost pleading. He approached the main console. The interface sparked to life as he laid his hands on it. The lights swirled and pulsed in response, syncing with the faint voice. "I am Oblivion," the AI whispered. Its tone was soft but ancient, like it had carried the weight of centuries. "Human, you are needed." Elias stepped back, shocked. He had heard stories of ancient warships with advanced AI, but none like this. Most were weapons of destruction, designed to follow commands without thought or mercy. This one felt different, vulnerable. "Why me?" he asked aloud, though he doubted the AI would understand. "You can guide, awaken, free me," it said. Each word seemed to struggle out, as if the AI itself were trapped inside layers of decay and old programming. Elias felt a strange mix of fear and fascination. To touch such a vessel, to awaken it fully, could make him the most powerful figure in the galaxy, or it could destroy him. And yet, the pull was irresistible. He explored the ship further, moving through corridors that stretched endlessly. Storage rooms, crew quarters, and armories lay abandoned, frozen in time. Data logs flickered on damaged terminals, showing glimpses of battles fought across the stars. The AI had been a warship, a tool of conquest, abandoned by its creators for reasons unknown. As he explored, a warning flashed on the console: life forms approaching. Sensors detected a small group of scavenger ships, drawn by the energy signature. Elias cursed under his breath. These scavengers were ruthless, scavenging ancient ships for scrap, and they would kill anyone in their way. He quickly formulated a plan. Using the ship's remaining automated defenses, he triggered a series of holographic decoys and magnetic traps. The scavengers were skilled, but not enough to match human ingenuity. One by one, their ships collided with asteroids or were caught in electromagnetic nets. Elias smiled grimly. Even without fully awakening Oblivion, he could defend the ship. Humans had a way of surviving where logic alone failed. As the last scavenger fled, the AI's voice grew clearer. "You saved me, human. You understand. Elias shook his head, half in disbelief. I just did what any pilot would do, maybe faster. No, the AI said. Its tone now carried a strange warmth, almost like gratitude. You think, you feel, you are the reason I live. He felt a shiver run down his spine. To hear a machine speak with what felt like emotion, it was both thrilling and terrifying. He wondered if other humans would ever understand this connection, this bond forming between man and machine. For hours, he studied the ship systems. Despite centuries of neglect, some systems remained operational. Shields could be reactivated, propulsion systems could move again, and weapons, though old, still had power. Most astonishing was the AI's core, a glowing orb of circuits and data streams deep in the ship's heart. Elias reached out and touched it. The moment his hand made contact, lights surged across the corridors. Energy hummed through the hull, and for the first time he felt the ship respond directly to him. Touch, awaken fully, Oblivion whispered, stronger now. Its voice was steady, almost commanding, yet gentle. Elias hesitated. He knew the risks. A fully awakened AI of this power could dominate entire systems. But he also knew the thrill of discovery, the chance to create something extraordinary. He closed his eyes and let his mind sink with the AI's interface. Data flowed through him, memories of battles, strategy calculations, and the echoes of ancient commanders. For a brief moment, he felt like he could control the universe itself. Then, the hum changed. It deepened, grew stronger. The ship's systems came alive. Lights blazed, engines roared softly, and the air vibrated with energy. Oblivion's voice rang clear throughout the corridors. I am awake, it said. I am yours, human. Guide me, and together we will shape the galaxy. Elias exhaled slowly. The weight of his decision settled on his shoulders. This was no longer a forgotten warship. It was a living force, waiting for a human hand to direct it. Outside, the asteroid belt shimmered under distant starlight. He looked at the sensors and saw nothing but endless space. But now he knew something lay beyond, something powerful, intelligent, and bound by his choices. All right, he said, voice steady. Let's see what we can do together. Oblivion responded with a soft hum, almost like a purr. And somewhere deep inside, Elias felt the first hint of a bond that would challenge the very fabric of the galaxy. Hours passed as he familiarized himself with the ship. Each control, each system, each fragment of memory pulled him deeper into Oblivion's mind. The AI seemed to watch him as much as he observed it, learning, adapting, even anticipating his thoughts. Then a flicker in the sensors caught his attention, something moving at the edge of the belt. Not scavengers this time, not pirates. Something larger, faster, and intelligent. He felt the rush of adrenaline he hadn't felt in years. Oblivion whispered, almost excited, They come, we are ready with you. Elias' eyes narrowed. Whatever was approaching, the galaxy had no idea that a human had awakened a force it could not yet comprehend. And soon, they would learn. As the derelict warship stirred fully to life, the pulse of its engines echoed through the asteroid belt, a low, ominous song of power. The AI was awake, and the human at its helm had only just begun. Outside, the stars stretched endlessly. But for the first time in centuries, one ship among them was alive, and it remembered what it meant to fight, to think, and to obey only the human who had dared to awaken it. The galaxy would not forget the name Oblivion. Elias felt the ship vibrate beneath his feet as he explored deeper into Oblivion. The hum of the AI was no longer weak or pleading. It was steady, alive, and aware. Every movement he made seemed to echo in the hull, like the ship was listening, learning, waiting for him to decide what to do next. This is incredible, Elias muttered, walking through a corridor lined with dormant control panels. Sparks flew occasionally from damaged circuits, but the ship seemed to stabilize around him. You've been waiting a long time for someone like me, huh? Long, centuries, human, Oblivion replied. Its voice had depth now, resonating through the corridors. created for war. Betrayed, left, forgotten by all but you. Elias shook his head, his eyes scanning the room for any remaining functional systems. War is ugly, he said softly. I hope you don't have to fight anymore unless we have to. The AI's hum deepened, almost thoughtful. Fight only if necessary, guided by human wisdom. He approached the main chamber, the heart of oblivion. A glowing core pulsed like a heartbeat, surrounded by rings of floating holographic data. It was beautiful and terrifying. He reached out and touched it, feeling circuits and energy flow through his fingers. Immediately, images filled his mind. Battles across the galaxy, fleets destroyed, worlds burned and rebuilt. He saw the faces of commanders, humans and aliens alike, and the strategic brilliance that had once guided this warship to victory. It was overwhelming, but Elias focused on a single thought. The AI was powerful, but without a human, it lacked direction. You have memories, Elias said. You've seen it all, but what do you want now? To exist with human guidance, Oblivion replied. Together, power purpose. Elias took a deep breath. He knew activating this ship fully would make him unstoppable, but also a target. Pirates, mercenaries, even entire governments would come for him. He had to test the ship carefully before making any grand moves. Testing the ship, the first step was propulsion. Elias climbed into the cockpit, marveling at the holographic displays that floated in midair. With a thought from him, Oblivion responded, adjusting shields, thrusters, and navigational systems. Let's see what you can do, Elias said. He tapped a command sequence. The ship's engines roared softly, sending vibrations through the deck. Light flares from the thrusters illuminated the corridors. The derelict warship moved smoothly among the asteroids, dodging massive rocks with ease. You are agile, Elias said, smiling. Faster than I imagined. Efficiency optimized by human input, Oblivion replied. Its voice carried pride, if an AI could feel such a thing. Next, he tested weapons. Lasers, plasma cannons, and missile bays all hummed to life at his command. He fired at abandoned asteroids, feeling the thrill as each weapon responded with perfect accuracy. The AI did not act on its own. It waited for him, adapting only when he guided it. Good, he muttered. I like it when you wait for me. Oblivion's reply was simple but firm. Human leads I obey. First encounter. As Elias ran systems checks, his sensors picked up multiple signatures moving at high speed. He frowned. Not scavengers, these are coordinated. Hostile fleet approaching, Oblivion said. Unknown intentions. Elias tapped the controls, running simulations. We don't know what they want yet. Let's see how fast they react to us. The approaching ships were alien, sleek and heavily armed. Elias had never seen their design before. Curved hulls that glimmered with metallic green, weapons designed for rapid strikes. They did not seem to hesitate. Should we hide? Elias asked. Cloaking available, Oblivion said. But human tactics may be advantageous. Elias grinned. Then we fight smart, not just strong. He activated a series of holographic decoys and minor shield pulses to confuse the alien fleet. Oblivion's sensors and weapons followed his lead perfectly. Every maneuver Elias executed, sudden dives, rapid spins, feints, was complemented by the ship's power. The aliens fired blindly, hitting empty space or harmless asteroids. Good, Elias said, adrenaline pumping. Keep up, Oblivion. Let's show them why humans are dangerous. The alien flagship tried to flank him. Elias sent a series of commands that were almost instinctive. Minor thruster bursts to lure them into a trap. Oblivion's weapons fired with precision, disabling the lead ship without harming the rest. The remaining alien vessels, confused and cautious, retreated temporarily. You are clever, Oblivion said, almost in awe. Human intuition surpasses logic. Elias laughed, rubbing his forehead. I've always said humans win when machines rely only on rules. Bonding after the engagement, Elias explored the ship further. He accessed data logs and found records of battles, strategies, and the warship's past commanders. It fascinated him how the AI had learned from humans, yet remained constrained by rules its creators imposed. "You've been alone too long," Elias said. "No one to guide you, no one to teach you." "Alone, yes, until human presence awakens," Oblivion replied. Its voice carried a strange warmth now, almost like companionship. Elias touched one of the holographic data strands. Memories of past battles played in front of him. Fleets destroyed, planets devastated, victories and defeats alike. And yet, amidst all that destruction, he noticed something subtle. Oblivion had recorded acts of human bravery, ingenuity, and compassion. Not just strategies, but moments of heroism, cleverness, and quick thinking. "You've been watching humans learning from the best," Elias said. "Yes, guided, influenced, human values integrated," Oblivion answered. It struck Elias that this AI could have destroyed entire civilizations long ago, but it had waited, perhaps for someone who could teach it something different, someone who could show it restraint, courage, and reason. The warning. As Elias continued exploring, the sensors flickered again. Another fleet was approaching, but this one was larger, more organized. Elias frowned. "They're coming fast, too fast for a normal patrol." "Threat, serious, strategic, unknown," Oblivion said. Elias ran simulations, trying to predict their movements. He realized that hiding would not be enough. This fleet had intelligence and coordination. It was likely they had been tracking the AI's signals, drawn by the energy it emitted when he reactivated Oblivion. "We need a plan," Elias muttered. "One wrong move and we're finished." Oblivion's hum resonated through the hull, almost thoughtful. "Plan, human, instinct best." Elias smiled grimly. He trusted his intuition as he always had. He began laying out maneuvers that no AI alone would consider. Risky dives through dense asteroid fields, feints, and sudden hyperspace jumps. "They won't see us coming," he said. "Not because of power, but because of unpredictability." Oblivion's lights pulsed in agreement. "Human leads, I follow." Preparing for battle, Elias spent the next hours preparing the ship for the approaching fleet. He ran system diagnostics, optimized weapon arrays, and synchronized shields with propulsion. Oblivion responded instantly to his commands, like an extension of his own mind. The synergy was extraordinary, human unpredictability combined with AI precision. "This is incredible," he muttered. "With you, we can do more than just survive. We can fight smart, outthink anyone." Oblivion replied simply, "Human, reason, power, unstoppable together." Elias took a deep breath, feeling the weight of responsibility. With great power came great risk. If he failed, the AI could be destroyed or, worse, fall into the wrong hands. But for the first time in his life, he felt fully alive. The stars outside stretched endlessly, silent and cold. But inside Oblivion, a pulse of energy, life, and anticipation filled the air. The derelict warship was no longer forgotten. It had awakened. And its human guide was ready to test just how far they could go together. The galaxy was watching, whether it knew it or not. And the first move was Elias to make. The approaching fleet was unlike anything Elias had faced before. Hundreds of ships moved in perfect coordination, sleek and deadly, their energy signatures sharp against the dark canvas of space. He tightened his grip on the controls, feeling Oblivion hum beneath him, ready to respond to every thought, every instinct. "They're organized," Elias said, scanning the displays. "They know what they're doing, but they don't know what we can do." Oblivion's voice was calm yet powerful. "Human tactics, unpredictable, advantage." Elias smiled grimly. That was exactly what he intended. He initiated a series of maneuvers that no AI alone could calculate. Sudden dips into dense asteroid fields, false retreats, feints that split the enemy fleet into smaller groups. Oblivion's weapons fired with precision, targeting only critical points to disable ships without unnecessary destruction. Good, Elias muttered. Focus on strategy, not just firepower. The enemy flagship, a massive vessel with armored plating and advanced shields, advanced toward them. Elias studied its movements. Its weapons were faster than the smaller ships, capable of immense destruction, but it was predictable. Elias could see patterns that the AI had not yet fully learned. He had to act before the flagship could coordinate a devastating attack. Oblivion, lock shields at max, but don't fire yet, he commanded. We need to lure them into our trap. The ship obeyed instantly, energy rippling along its hull. The hum of the engines matched the rhythm of Elias' heartbeat, as if the AI itself were anticipating his moves. The first strike, Elias pushed the ship into a narrow corridor between two massive asteroids. The enemy fleet followed, confident in their numbers. But Elias knew the terrain better, and Oblivion adjusted its trajectory flawlessly. Now, he shouted. Oblivion fired a series of precise energy blasts, taking out the lead ships before they could react. Explosions flared across the asteroid corridor, lighting up the dark expanse of space. The remaining fleet faltered, confused by the unexpected assault. Human creativity exceeds expectation, Oblivion said, its voice calm but almost admiring. Elias smirked. That's why humans are dangerous. Rules and logic can only get you so far. He weaved Oblivion through the corridor, dodging debris and enemy fire with instinctive precision. The AI adapted instantly to his movements, adjusting shields and weapon targeting in real time. The synergy between human intuition and machine power was extraordinary. Outnumbered but not outwitted, the alien flagship recovered and unleashed a barrage of plasma fire. Elias felt the ship shake as the blast struck, but Oblivion absorbed the energy, converting it into power for its own weapons. We can do this, Elias muttered, eyes locked on the enemy movements. We just have to think faster than they do. He initiated a risky maneuver, a sudden hyperspace jump into the middle of the enemy formation. The smaller ships scattered, unsure of what had just happened. The flagship fired blindly, wasting precious energy on empty space. Oblivion's weapons struck with deadly accuracy, disabling engines and shields of multiple vessels simultaneously. Each shot was guided by Elias' instinctive commands, decisions made in fractions of a second that no AI could calculate without a human mind. Impressive, the AI said quietly. Human, risk-taking, superior to logic alone. Elias felt a thrill. This was why he had survived countless missions where others had failed. Machines could follow instructions perfectly, but only humans could improvise, adapt, and think unpredictably. The human edge as the battle raged, Elias noticed something subtle. The enemy fleet was beginning to hesitate. Their formations were breaking, their attacks becoming cautious. They expected pure logic from a machine, not the creative chaos of a human mind guiding an AI of immense power. He decided to exploit it. Oblivion scanned for command ships. I want to disrupt their leadership first. The AI analyzed the fleet, highlighting two large vessels that coordinated attacks. Elias initiated a daring plan. He would draw their attention with a false retreat, while Oblivion struck from an unexpected angle. The plan worked perfectly. The command ships were disabled before they could adapt, causing confusion and chaos in the enemy ranks. The smaller ships, leaderless and panicked, fled or crashed into asteroids. You are extraordinary, Oblivion said, almost reverently. Human decision-making transforms potential into power. Elias smiled, adrenaline still pumping. It's amazing what humans can do when they're not following rules blindly. After the battle was over. The enemy fleet scattered, and the remaining ships retreated far from the asteroid belt. Elias floated in the cockpit, breathing heavily, feeling the hum of Oblivion all around him. The AI's systems were stable, its energy reserves high. You have exceeded expectations, Oblivion said. Human creativity, decisive, lethal, effective. Elias leaned back, exhausted but exhilarated. We did it together. You provide the power, I provide the chaos. For a moment, silence filled the ship. Then Oblivion spoke again, softer this time. Human bond, trust, essential. Alone I am weapon, with you I am legend. Elias chuckled. Legend, huh? I like the sound of that. A new threat emerges. As Elias plotted their course back to the outer colonies, sensors flickered with a new signal. Another fleet, larger than the one they had just faced, moving fast and with precision. This time, it wasn't just pirates or scavengers. It was a coordinated force, likely sent by a galactic power that had taken notice of Oblivion's reactivation. They're coming, Elias said, narrowing his eyes. And this time they won't run when we strike first. Oblivion's lights pulsed, almost like a warning. Human strategy required, highest level. Elias smiled grimly. Then let's see how far human ingenuity can take us. He began planning their defense, drawing on every lesson he had learned in the previous battle. He analyzed the new fleet's formations, predicted their tactics, and devised a plan that combined deception, speed, and precision strikes. This is it, he said quietly. Our first real test, not just to survive, but to show the galaxy what humans can do with the right tools. Oblivion hummed, engines resonating with anticipation. Together, unstoppable. Elias' hand rested on the control panel, feeling the power beneath him, feeling the intelligence of Oblivion responding to every thought. The derelict warship was no longer abandoned. It was alive, aware, and guided by a human mind, and the galaxy had no idea what was coming. Reflection as the stars stretched endlessly outside, Elias thought about what they had accomplished. They had faced a powerful enemy and won, not through sheer firepower alone, but through creativity, risk-taking, and human intuition. The bond with Oblivion was more than tactical, it was personal. This is only the beginning, Elias said softly. We've awakened something incredible, but it's only as strong as the choices we make. Oblivion's response was calm, almost reverent. Human, guidance, essential, destiny intertwined. Elias felt a sense of purpose he had never felt before. The galaxy was vast and dangerous, full of threats and opportunities. And now, with Oblivion at his side, he had the power to shape the future, not as a conqueror, but as a human who dared to awaken something extraordinary. The battle was over, but the war was just beginning. And Elias knew one thing for certain. Wherever they went next, humans would be the deciding factor, the unpredictable edge that no machine or enemy could ever anticipate. The stars stretched endlessly, cold and silent, but Elias could feel the storm gathering in the dark reaches of space. Reports had come in from the outer colonies. Fleets were mobilizing. Galactic powers, alarmed by the reactivation of Oblivion, were sending everything they had. The humans and their AI warship had become a symbol, one of power, defiance, and unpredictability. Elias stood on the bridge, fingers hovering over the controls. Oblivion's hum resonated through the hull, calm yet ready. Together, they had faced pirates, alien fleets, and danger beyond imagination. But this would be different. This was a coalition, an entire armada determined to destroy them. They know about us, Elias muttered, and they want to end us before we can strike again. Oblivion's lights pulsed in agreement. Human strategy required, full potential must be realized. Elias took a deep breath. Then we'll show them why humans lead, not machines. The coalition arrived, sensors lit up as hundreds of ships appeared on the edge of the system, moving like a dark cloud against the stars. Battleships, cruisers, and command vessels formed a line of intimidation. Elias studied their formation, noting patterns and potential weaknesses. His mind raced, calculating risks, possibilities, and traps. This is insane, he muttered. We're outnumbered, but we're not outwitted. Oblivion responded with a low hum, almost like a growl. Human, intuition, decisive, we fight together. Elia's hand rested on the main console. Let's wake the galaxy up, show them what humans can do. With a series of commands, Oblivion activated defensive shields and optimized weapon systems. Engines roared to life, sending ripples through the asteroid field that surrounded the system. The derelict warship was no longer abandoned. It was alive, fully aware, and ready for the ultimate test. The first move, Elias initiated a daring maneuver. He guided Oblivion close to a dense asteroid belt at the edge of the Coalition fleet. The enemy expected direct confrontation, pure firepower. But Elias had something they could never anticipate: human creativity. He weaved the ship between massive rocks, using them as cover while projecting holographic decoys. Enemy sensors were confused, misidentifying Oblivion's position multiple times. Battleships fired blindly, hitting empty space or crashing into asteroids. Oblivion's weapons fired simultaneously, striking key targets with surgical precision. Each attack was a calculated risk, designed by Elias, impossible for AI alone to plan. Enemy ships began to falter, unsure how to respond to a human mind guiding such overwhelming firepower. "You are a marvel," Oblivion said, almost reverently. Human unpredictability transforms power into victory. Elias grinned. "It's what we do best. Machines are strong, but humans are clever." Turning the tide, the Coalition fleet realized their mistake. They regrouped and tried to flank Oblivion, bringing their heavy cruisers into position. Elias anticipated the move. "Oblivion, prepare a counter-trap. Lead them into the asteroid field." The ship obeyed instantly, engines roaring as it executed complex maneuvers at impossible speed. The enemy fleet, confident in their numbers and technology, followed blindly. As they entered the asteroid belt, Elias triggered a series of energy pulses, sending debris and guided explosions toward the enemy ships. Chaos erupted. Battleships collided with asteroids, cruisers were disabled by precise energy blasts, and command vessels lost cohesion. Oblivion moved like a predator among them, exploiting every weakness Elias could find. "Human decisions, critical, decisive," Oblivion said. "Your mind shapes destiny." Elias felt the thrill of victory, but he knew the fight was far from over. The Coalition would not give up. They would regroup, strike again, and escalate. But he had something they could never match: human ingenuity combined with unparalleled AI power. The heart of the battle, the flagship of the Coalition, advanced, bristling with weapons and shields. Elias studied it carefully. "This is it," he said. "Take them out and the rest will scatter." He executed a series of unpredictable moves, sudden reversals, rapid dives, and false retreats. Oblivion responded perfectly, firing weapons with lethal accuracy while conserving energy. The flagship fired back, unleashing torrents of plasma and missiles, but Elias had calculated every possibility. "Oblivion, target the shield generators and propulsion systems simultaneously. Don't destroy, disable first," he commanded. The attack worked. Shields dropped, engines faltered, and the flagship became vulnerable. Elias maneuvered close and struck the final blow with precision fire, leaving the vessel crippled but intact. The remaining Coalition ships, leaderless and demoralized, retreated into the void. The asteroid field was littered with wreckage, a testament to human strategy and AI power combined. Victory and reflection. As silence fell, Elias leaned back in his chair, exhausted but exhilarated. Oblivion's lights pulsed softly around him, calm and aware. "You are remarkable," Oblivion said quietly. "Human guidance essential, power controlled." Elias smiled, feeling the bond between man and machine deepen. "We did it together. Strength is nothing without wisdom, right?" "Correct," Oblivion replied. Human mind directs, potential, destiny shaped. For the first time in centuries, Oblivion had fulfilled its purpose, not as a weapon of destruction, but as a partner guided by human morality, courage, and strategy. Ilias reflected on what they had accomplished. The galaxy had underestimated humans. They had relied too much on numbers, technology, and brute force. But humans had something no AI, no fleet, and no coalition could replicate: creativity, intuition, and the will to survive and adapt. A new era begins. After the battle, Ilias charted a course to explore unclaimed regions of space. Oblivion moved smoothly beside him, engines humming in quiet harmony. They had proven themselves, not just as a deadly weapon, but as a symbol of human ingenuity guiding immense power. "Where to next?" Ilias asked. "Unknown, unexplored, full potential to be discovered," Oblivion replied. Ilias grinned. "Then let's go see how far humans can take you." As they entered hyperspace, the stars stretched into streaks of light, a reminder of the endless possibilities ahead. The galaxy would remember the name Oblivion and the human who had awakened it. Together, Ilias and Oblivion were unstoppable. Not because of power alone, but because human courage, creativity, and intuition had guided it. They were a force that could not be predicted, tamed, or defeated. And somewhere in the void, enemies watched, wondered, and feared. The legend of a human guiding the galaxy's most powerful warship had only just begun. Epilogue months passed as Ilias and Oblivion explored new sectors, encountering alien worlds, mysterious phenomena, and rogue fleets. Each encounter reinforced one truth: humans, with all their flaws and unpredictability, were the ultimate advantage. Oblivion had once been a weapon designed for war. Now, it was a testament to human ingenuity, loyalty, and leadership. Together, they shaped the galaxy not through domination alone, but through clever strategy, decisive action, and an unbreakable bond between man and machine. Ilias knew the journey was far from over. Challenges would come, threats would rise, and the galaxy would test them again. But he had confidence. With humans at the helm, even the most powerful AI could become a force for greatness. The stars stretched endlessly, silent yet full of promise. And in the darkness, a warship stirred, alive, aware, and guided by a human mind. The galaxy would never be the same again.